in Velký Berezny, Czechoslovakia, I really don't know how to begin to tell my life story. There is no beginning and no end. Pages couldn't possibly fill my life story. It all began a day after Passover when they told us to get out in front of the house and
Talk to me.
with 40 pounds in possession to surrender our gold and money.
Talk to me.
Little did we know where we're heading for. They told us they're taking us to an island of some kind, and the young one will work and the eldest will stay home. They took us first to the ghetto of Ushhorod, and from there, not knowing where, we landed in Auschwitz.
They could make you wear yellow stars?
That was way before. That was way before that we wore the yellow stars.
Did you have any idea what it meant?
No, we knew that the Germans had come in and they made us wear the yellow stars. But little did we know what we're doomed for. In Auschwitz, as we got off the train, they separated us.
How many were in a car? How many in
the cattle trains.
How many? Stuff?
Oh, there is... I can't even tell the exact amount because it was more like cattle. You couldn't go to the bathroom. You made there and you did everything. It was for a few days. Well, we got off the train. There was this Mengele. To this day, I remember him. Chief doctor of Auschwitz, which we had to look at his finger. A finger determined our life or death, but we did not know that we are doomed. I mean, we are going to be living, the young ones, and the older ones, they're going to kill. Without saying, just facing him, we had to look which direction he told us to go, right or left. Unfortunately, my parents, my grandmother, a sister, a very young one, with 4 children, the oldest was 13, went the other way. And the 3 of us, the girls,
in your family?
In the family, and the others were away. We didn't know if they're living or dead, because when we left in Budapest, no, Uncle Herman, and Uncle Itzu was in
Hungarian forced labor.
In forced labor camp. So they told us that we're going to take a bath. Everybody is going to take a bath, and we'll meet in the evening. Each and every one of us went like cattle, like nothing. This is it. We were dying to take a bath. So the first thing was they shaved our heads, and they did give us showers. Little did we know that our parents, instead of giving them the water to shower them, they gassed them. When we got into the barracks, it was a day before, a few days before Shavuos.
What year?
And somehow we were all religious children there. They said Shavuos, das Himmel spalten sich, you know? As Gott had kommen, Gott had to say Mashiach had kommen, as Mashiach never came.
Yeah. Right on.
And the ones that were there already tried to comfort us, and not comfort us really, but cruelly said to us, our hopes are not to be, we shouldn't even think about it, that our parents are already in the smoke and the skies. We looked at them like they're crazy.
Like they're crazy?
Yeah. We didn't believe them. But they were, that was the truth. But it was very hard to understand. We were there, getting up around 4 o'clock in the morning for Zelapel. I was there, my sister, the two of my sisters. We were not to be told that we are sisters, because this would have been their biggest pleasure to separate us or to take one away and gas them.
This is CD and
CD and Frida. So we always made up between the three of us, if they'll take one out, all three will go. You know.
Yeah.
But we were lucky enough that they never chose us when they selected for the crematoriums, because the lagers filled up and they needed to reduce people.
What year was this?
This was in 44. So then came, they gave us tattoos on my arm, which is A11-762. And so on. My sister had the next number and next number. We were there until January.
What'd you do?
Working in the kitchen, because this was the only way in which I never thought that I could pick up a sack of potatoes or a sack of flour, 2 people, from loading and unloading trucks, which weighed about 200 pounds.
A sack?
A sack. Then came the evacuation, and we were witnessing some very, very cruel thing. I was beaten by one of them,
Capos?
the Lagerälteste, that I never thought I'll make it. Because if you would have fallen down, they told me, she would step on your neck and choke you. So the minute I fell down, I picked myself up fast, because the other girls told me to get up fast. Until January the 18th, I was there, and then we were evacuating. It so happened, on our way, we were walking, and it was my 20th birthday. I was walking in the woods, stepping into dead bodies of men and women with their skull open completely.
Couldn't handle that.
Somehow, I was like crazy, really. I must have been not normal, because I took off the dead body's shirt or jacket or shoes that mine already ripped and put it on my own self. I didn't look at that his skull was from a big iron ball, taken out. Was it a woman or a man? I didn't see, because it was during the night. And then we were so exhausted that wherever we saw a dead person laying on the floor, they gave us 5 minutes. I laid myself to him to be warm, to sleep. I shouldn't be exposed to
Frozen,
Harman.
yeah.
Frozen. We walked quite a while, for a few days. Then they put us again into a train which took us to Ravensbrück
What's this?
in Germany. It's a concentration camp. Ravensbrück. Ravensbrück, we were very, we had a lot of lice.
Yeah.
It was infected with an awful lot of lice. In Auschwitz, we did not have any lice. But as soon as we came to Ravensbrück, we started getting them like crazy.
Flies.
Finally, they took us again away. We didn't know where, with a train. We were happy to go any place because they gave you rations to take along because we were hungry. So we volunteered for anything where they give you anything to eat. So they took us to Neustadt Glebe.
My father was there.
No,
Somebody, oh, you were there.
I was there. In Neustadt Glebe. I mean, there I was, wait a minute, January we evacuated, in February I was in Ravensbrück, in March I got to Neustadt Glebe. There it was like kettles laying on the plain floor, full of lice again. And at that point already, we heard that it's coming to an end, like, because we saw bombs falling not far from the camp, not hitting us. Shortly after that, the Russians, there was a air alarm, you know,
Air raid.
Air raid, and everybody was locked into their cells. And when the air raid was over, we saw Russian soldiers opening the gates. Well, we didn't know what to do, so everyone ran out. Instead of going and greeting them, everyone ran to the storage rooms
To eat.
to grab food. Most of my friends died on top of sacks of flour, rice, Hakenflocken, and grease, you know, fat.
Heavy food.
You know, whatever they could grab,
Yeah.
they just stuffed themselves, and unfortunately, they died on top of the sacks. It so happened that my older sister also got very, very sick with typhoid fever.
Typhus.
Typhus, yeah. Then the Red Cross came and picked us up and took us to Prague, but they didn't let us out until each and every one of us got their injections, because they stopped our monthly, you know.
Were you still with your sisters?
What?
Were you still with your sisters?
Yes. We were the most fortunate ones, but not Sidi, because she had to remain in hospital with typhus. But me and Frida were in Prague. You want more?
Where'd you go from there? Did you go back home?
I went back home.
Yeah.
When they released me, I went home through Budapest, and in every city they were very helpful the United Jewish Appeal, or the Joint, I don't even know who it was.
Highest.
The highest. They fed us. They had open kitchens for us. And wherever, in every city, they had like a station that you could see whoever went home already. They were writing on walls, on bricks, on fences. You went over there and see who went home, like they wrote their name. I couldn't find anybody that, I knew that is home.
What about your brothers?
I did not know that they are alive. I saw all that rubble in Budapest, and I knew that my brother was there. When we left, I kept on saying, who knows where he must be laying under one of these bricks someplace. My brother Itsu, I did not know if he is alive. In Budapest, I heard from somebody else that my two brothers are home waiting for us already, but not in Veliki Berezny, because they couldn't possibly go back there. They went to Uzhhorod. Yeah. My younger brother heard that we are alive in Budapest. He hopped on the train coming to meet us, and at the same time we got on the train to go home. So we crossed each other, and we never seen each other because the borders closed afterwards.
Holy mackerel.
And he couldn't come back to Uzhhorod, and we couldn't go back to Budapest. So he volunteered to work for the Haganah, Uncle Hershey, and then to Italy.
Uncle Hershey?
Yes, Herman.
Oh, Herman,
Yeah. He went to Italy. This is how I missed seeing him. And then we went home. We started a new life. My Itsu was very swollen, and we tried to make a home. But then the Russians had taken over, and we couldn't take it. We didn't want to stay there. So we crossed the borders to go back into...
At night, right? I thought time.
Yes. With false papers, we crossed the borders to escape the Russians.
How'd you get the papers?
I bought it from a Russian peasant. I passed as a 36-year-old woman. And we got into Teplitsa Shanov.
How old were you when you passed for a 36-year-old woman?
21. Not even. Not even 21. And we again started a new life, trying to make a home for ourselves. Then we all had jobs and an apartment when the Russians again asked us to go home where our birthplace is, which was occupied by the Russians. We didn't want to hear of it, so here we go again, waiting a bullet to come in our backs, crossing a border again, leaving everything behind, just to escape. So we crossed back into Germany, into a DP camp, where we registered to come to America. Now, if you have any more questions.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
What was the quality of life in Veliki Berezny? And who was the head of the community? what kind of schools and how the Jews and the other people...
We'll take one question at a time.
Okay.
What was the first question?
Quality of life in Velké Brezhny.
The quality of life in Velké Brezhny was a happy life. There were Jews and Gentiles. The business belonged to the Jews. It was a nice little town,
What's this?
and everyone was happy with what we had. That's all.
Okay, and what was the quality of life in the Israel ghetto?
In the what?
Israel ghetto.
Were you in a ghetto in Clara?
I was in Mushorod ghetto, I already told you.
Well, how was the quality? You just said already.
Oh, we slept in a brick factory where was just a roof over us.
And in Velké Brezhny, who was the head of the community?
The government.
There was no chief rabbi or something like that?
Oh, we had a chief rabbi, we had a dayan, and a shoichet, and a roof. We had everything.
Okay.
Okay, it's better.
That's better.